Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
You know, live shows are something. Trying to get into these shows. I was going to do like some line about the Browns. I don't really even care. Everybody's not going to ruin my Sunday. They're not going to because the Guardians are playing well. If you're seeing this later on in the week or hearing this because we didn't retweet until after and retweet from Big Play and all these accounts, they're followed by a lot more people. I'm sorry. TweetDeck wants me to log in again. It goes through these stupid cycles. I'm sorry to get on a rant to start this stupid show, but TweetDeck won't let me in. So if you're seeing this live, thank you so much for knowing that we are on at 7:00 every Sunday night. This is your Browns post-game show on the Big Play Network. This is the voice of the land. I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Always Positive Jay and Peter Tillip, or we call him Audio because you just hear his voice. You're never going to see him. Again, I could turn the camera that's right next to me if I really wanted to. It's not the night for that. Maybe
it just comes up like numbers, like the Matrix scrolling.
Yeah, he's artificial intelligence. We say what Jarvis was to Iron Man, Audio is to the voice of land, and we are partnered. Well, we are on the Big Play Network and also partnered with LPV Productions and brought to you tonight, as we always are, by Vector Technical. They'll get the right person in the right job the first time. If you're out there looking for a job, we got more information on how you can get in touch and what Vector can do for you to kind of get you back into the job market. A lot of great people over there at Vector. And of course, follow us at VTL_pod, all those places. We'll talk about that more as we go too. We don't do that in the open of the show anymore. And I was about to go down that road. TweetDeck has really thrown me back 2 years with this show. So screw you TweetDeck, and screw you
Browns.
I was trying
As I have dubbed them, they are the Sunday fun suckers, dude.
Man.
They just suck the fun out of everyone's Sunday. I told you guys.
Don't say that 5 times fast.
I know. I sent
sent
that to Riz as a text before a show, and he's like, "Wait, I got to read this right. Like, wow, I don't want to mess this up." And he had to take his time on it, but I said it a few times and it's stuck in my head. Like, I ain't getting it wrong. But yeah, they just suck. They try to suck the fun out of your Sundays. I told you guys I ain't doing it. It ain't happening no more. They're not ruining my Sundays. My anger is no longer the 24-hour rule. It is from that stadium. I am bleeping them up and down when they do games like this to my car. Once they get on the car, turn on music, and it's over. I'm done being mad about it. They ain't taking my Sundays up no more.
So it's funny you say that because after the game, Browns lose today. If you didn't know, if you're
dramatic fashion as always.
If you're just waking up from the exuberance and staying at for 15 innings yesterday with the Guardians sweeping the Rays and moving on to face those stupid Yankees. The language almost dropped there too. Oh boy. If you're just kind of getting back into the groove of things, yes, the Browns found another way to lose, as a few of the other post-game shows said. I will not say that this is me saying this because you got to give credit where credit is due. I believe ESPN Cleveland's primetime post-game show with Aaron Goldhammer, Emmett Golden, they said this as well. Other people have said it. The Browns have found new ways to, what did they say? Get losses from the jaws of winning. Instead of like steal a win from the jaws of defeat, it's the exact opposite with the Browns.
Snag defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they lose 30-28 today. And someone asked me as I was kind of finishing up work today, and that's why I got an Ohio State shirt on, because basically I just took off a couple layers. I had somehow had a brown sweatshirt on underneath my work shirt, and I made sure I had some sort of team that we know we can have fun with.
I came in with the Guardians because I changed right out of my Browns gear.
Yeah, you were at the game, weren't you?
Yeah, I was at both. I was at Friday's game for the Guardians. I was at the game today. As soon as I got home, I'm like, no, I ain't doing the show in the Browns gear. You guys don't deserve the publicity from the show today. The Guardos do. And yeah, I changed. Then Kevin's like, you know what? You're right. Ripped off his Browns hoodie. He's repping a winner, another winner from this weekend, beating the hell out of Michigan State this weekend. I mean,
why
nice.
can't we finish a weekend right?
I know. I was ready for like that just all 4 wins and ready to go on Monday for like the super victory Monday. The Browns, I told you, man, they're just trying to suck the fun out of everything.
I mean, yeah, Guardians win in their they win the wild card series. They they're guaranteed 3 more games, and that's all they're guaranteed. But still, I mean, it's a team that's on the upswing, a young team that plays the game, the sport that they're playing the right way. The Cavs are another young team that plays the sport they're playing the right way. The Browns are mostly a young team that doesn't play the game they're playing the right way.
Well, and here's the thing is, I love football. I love Ohio State. The Browns infuriate me.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Indians, like our Guardians, I love watching baseball. I like baseball. I'm not a guy that like knows
I love
all
watching
the
baseball
rules.
too.
I don't know
Thank
all
you,
the rules.
postseason.
Yeah, I don't know all the rules and all this stuff. But I'm excited. I am so excited for the Guardians. I'm excited this young team is in the postseason. And I turned it on. I had to work filming on Friday. So I was able to get in the car to catch like the end of the game. And I'm driving and I'm just like the excitement listening to that game on the radio. I'm like driving on the edge of my seat.
Well, it
And
helps
it's
you
like,
got Tom Hamilton, the GOAT, on the mic. So
that you're right. That definitely helps. But that's the kind of excitement I get when I watch Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's the kind of excitement I want to have when I watch the Browns. So far this season with the Browns, even when we've won, I've been ho-hum about the whole thing.
What's funny,
which is weird.
I'm leaving and they're like, we should be 5-0. I'm like, you
We're
could be
0-5.
0-5 too, real easy. So
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I
Yeah.
mean,
That was last week.
That was last week's show.
being close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades. Like, yeah, you gotta finish the game, and they're not finishing games.
I'll tell them right now, man, with the Guardians coming on and the Cavs coming on, the Browns have had a stranglehold pretty much on the main fandom in this town because it's a good sports town. It's not a great sports town when it comes to like baseball. It is good, but when it comes to football, they're great. They're going to lose that grip. They're going to I'm telling you right now, you're going to see more fans spending their money on the Cavs and the Guardians or they better hope that when Deshaun Watson comes, he can help get the offense to score 40 points because your defense can't stop anybody. The book's out. You could just run right up the gut on this team.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, wishing for a better quarterback, better hope that
he's got to score 45.
Yeah, because I understand that Kate York shares in this, and I've been.
Oh, we'll play the blame game later because you're gonna love what I have to say.
Yeah, we'll break all this down probably in the next segment, and then we're switching over to Guardians completely.
Yeah,
like we're doing half and half today. I don't care that we're the Browns post game show. I'm not doing this the whole time. Like I was telling.
Who wants to hear about the Browns losing again? Who wants to hear about Guardians winning? I want to talk about the Guardians winning. I don't really.
Yeah, someone asked me as I was kind of finishing up work. They're like, so because they hadn't seen me since the game ended. They're like, so what did you think about that game? I was like, I don't care. Like just like what you were saying earlier in the show. Like you're not letting the Browns ruin your Sunday. Will we watch? Sure, we're Clevelanders. We're still Browns fans, but not letting it ruin what other teams are doing. Just a great Sunday to be with family, with people.
Yeah, like today's
out
a
of work.
Beautiful weather day. Like, you ain't ruining my day no more. It ain't gonna happen.
No, and it's like, for me, Guardians, Cavs, and then Browns are there, but it's not going to ruin my day. Like, guess what? You keep doing this. At some point, something's got to change. Now you're saying that people will change to like what we're talking about, Guardians and Cavs, and they'll spend more money on that. Will that be the case? Because people have kept doing it, and they did it through 1-31. Like we all did it during 1-31 still. Well, like, will the Browns ever lose that stranglehold truly?
They might not. You might have a great point there, to be honest with you. I bought season tickets after they went 0-16.
I feel like that's almost like a philosophical question that we get into at the end of the show, and we never have time to really break down, or we go way over because we're breaking it down.
Andre Knott has been on top of this lately. He's totally talking about how he just doesn't understand why we're not buying into the Guardians as much. Like they are literally producing winning season after winning season after winning season. And just We're like, oh, they should spend more. And I've been on here and I've yelled at the Dolans for not spending. I was wrong. These dudes know what they're doing. You know what? If you can get into the playoffs with that payroll and these young kids, and now they're all going to get that opportunity to grow together and become this young, awesome core that has many years ahead of them.
And there's still a couple top 100 prospects
Right there, buddy.
There's still a couple top.
Yeah, our best prospects ain't even up yet. That's the best part. The farm club is loaded.
I don't know. And I was talking about that too with the Dolans and everything like that. You know what the beautiful thing about this show is? We come on here, we say we're wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but whether we make predictions or we give our opinions, we're not saying that our opinions are going to fully come to fruition. They're fact right in that moment. As time goes on and that opinion, the play happens on the field or on the court, we made opinions beforehand. Sometimes that what actually ends up happening proves out to be a fact that proves us wrong. And we come on here and we say we are wrong. Like, now, would we like to see the Dolans spend a little bit more? Sure. But where you have to give them credit with the Guardians and with this Cleveland baseball organization when they were still with the Indians, like, it hasn't just happened just now that when they changed the name. I think everybody's thinking like, oh, like the curse is lifted or something like that with the name being changed. It's not. They've been doing this consistently. They have put the right people in place. And when someone else moves on.
With that name change, please remind me to give a disclaimer to certain people by the end of the show.
I will.
Because I am beyond fired up about something I seen that Friday.
That'll probably be something that people don't hear because we'll be in a commercial break. And while we can hear each other through the microphones, no one else will be able to hear.
I'm saying it on air.
I know, but I'm like, to remind you,
thank you.
The reminder will probably come off air.
Now, what you were saying before, yes, okay, we admit we're wrong. Because guess what? Everybody's wrong. There ain't a person in this media, and I'll tell every one of you guys all like, and you're supposed to talk like you're always right. But guess what? If you were always right on sports, you'd all be millionaires and Vegas would be broke.
Yeah. Like,
if everybody knew everything, you'd be gambling and be all millionaires.
And on the other end of that spectrum, when we are right, like, we're not here to just like, get up on some pedestal and like, hey, good, we were right this time. Glad, and it worked out for our team. Like, that's the beauty of it. Oh my gosh, we were wrong. So sorry we were wrong. Love that we were wrong. Rooting to be wrong, because guess what? By us being wrong, that is a good thing for our team.
Exactly.
But
the only we want is our teams just do. If we're good or right or wrong, we just want our teams to do good.
But where we usually aren't wrong, and this isn't I'm not saying we as in this show, I'm saying we as in Cleveland fans, where we aren't wrong is blind hope in the Browns, but always preparing for the worst, because this kind of crap that happened today continues to happen and in so many different ways. But guess what? They said on the broadcast on CBS, heartbreak city for Cleveland. Guess what? I don't feel heartbroken today. Not like in the past, because of the team that Jay is wearing and representing today embodies what this city is about. The Cavaliers embody what this city is about. The images of them signing autographs at their scrimmage and being out there. You know what? A message to the Guardians and the Cavs. Stop going to the Browns games, because who gives a crap? They're not, when they come to your games, you guys are showing them how to play, or at least the type of energy, effort, mindset to come out with. They don't do that. They're not worth your time either. You guys focus on being two young teams right across the plaza from each other, support each other, and maybe the Browns will finally get their act together and come along. But I don't know if the actual tenure, the atmosphere, the mindset of the city will be like, we are going to switch to these teams. I don't know if that'll ever happen. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's just what's ingrained in Northeast Ohio. It's football. We know that. Browns football, high school football, Ohio State football, college football, whatever it is, football is Ohio.
It was made here. I mean, that's why.
Ohio is football. And I don't know that, not to anybody's mistake or error or whatever, that people can never fully back. We're not going to be able to back away from actually watching the Browns. I think.
No, I'll torture myself every Sunday.
We'll torture ourselves, but I think at the end, I think the way that the city kind of maybe pays a little bit more attention to the Guardians and the Cavs is that they won't give you that feeling at the end. And at the end, get in your car. If you go to the game or you're out watching with friends, get in your car, turn on some music, let it go, because they clearly don't care to change it. They'll tell you we're going to change it. Oh, it's on me. We gotta call better plays. We gotta do all that.
Said it best after Miles was upset about the booing. He goes, "No, dude, they're emotionally investing into you guys. We always are. Like that crowd was loud today. It was. I always am like skeptical, I guess, of our crowd because I believe it has such potential and better potential in what it is. But today I gave it a good solid 8. I love to see it at a 10, but today was a great 8. And we put our heart and souls into this team. We keep coming year in, year out, and you're not giving it back. You're not returning the love. We want some love, Browns. Help us out.
We know
dying over here.
And we know we're playing our backup quarterback, but there's plenty of talent on this team that is not getting the job done at the end of the day. And we are still in this doldrum of mediocrity of football. And it's not good enough. We're giving to, we're not getting back. We give to the Guardians, they give back, or they gave to us, and now we're giving back. Yes.
But they came out this weekend, and I'm so glad to see
City of Cleveland definitely came out.
And that crowd was rocking, man. Oh, I can't wait to talk about them.
Yeah, you were at the Friday game. I was at the Saturday game. We'll talk about that down the line. We'll play the blame game, I guess, and get this all out of the way next segment with the Browns. That's coming up next right here on the Voice of Land on the Big Play Network. But first, a message from Vector Technical.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Time to play the blame game from the Browns' loss to the Los Angeles Chargers, 30-28 at First Energy Stadium. In the first segment, we were talking a whole bunch of stuff. We went all different directions. We are the Browns postgame show on the Big Play Network. This is the Voice of Land. Kevin Arnold, always positive Jay, and Audio, our producer extraordinaire. Don't know how positive Jay is going to be, but for the right reason, we're going to get it out of the way and move on. We're going to do, 10
How
minutes.
do I remain positive? You got to let it out.
Gotta let it out. Yes. Sometimes you got to let out the negativity to be always or almost always positive Jay.
Almost always positive didn't have a ring to it. So,
Yeah, you just stick with it, APJ. That just, when you can break it down to just the letters, like APJ, like that makes it even better. So, APJ, I ask you, where are you going with the blame game for the Browns?
Drum roll. The Browns. That's who I blame. All of you, the coaching, the players, the kicker, the quarterback. You were all at fault today. It was a complete team loss. Special teams, offense, and defense. Was the offense out there scoring points? Yes. But when the critical time came, you threw an interception right to the dude. And if you missed him, there was another Charger right behind you. So it's your fault. Kevin, why aren't you running the ball when you're on the goal line, you silly? Ooh. You knew I wanted to do it. But no, I actually did on purpose. Yes, and Cade, I understand you're a rookie, but you're missing the easy one. I can't let you off the hook on that. You're in trouble for that. And Joe Woods, I don't know what you're doing, dude. I right now, honestly, I don't know if it is Joe Woods or just complete poor execution on the players, because that was the softest defense I've seen in so long. Where is the tackling? You guys look like little kids trying to tackle adults out there. And Austin Eckler ain't all that big, and he's just trucking you guys over. Like, come on. Browns, I blame you.
Peter?
I don't think I can follow that. I mean, I was,
I had that worked up when I
man.
told you about my walk. Like that was my walk, and I was just letting it out to no one.
I mean, because I will say, I don't disagree with any of that. I mean, Jacoby Brissett has performed much better than I had hoped for, except those freaking interceptions.
It's
in critical time.
Mm-hmm.
But
He could have just ran.
I
literally could have just ran that. I don't. He could have got the first down or the touchdown.
I know.
When worst thing happens, you get tackled and you get 3 points. We would have been up by 1.
Yep. And that, I mean, yeah, complete collapse. I think the whole team just didn't do enough.
Yeah, so collapse, they were up, of course they were up 14-0. So that's kind of where the collapse started. Like you had the foot on the throat, as they say. And that's kind of a morbid way to say things, but you get the picture. Like you had the foot on the gas and you took it off way too quickly.
Oh yeah.
The offense went 3 and out a couple times. You're letting, oh boy, a team that came in. I don't know if they were ranked last in the NFL, but all I heard to start the game and throughout the game, boy, the Chargers are one of the worst teams in the NFL in rushing attack. And boy, did they come out to run today. 238 yards.
It's like I think, did the team listen to these press clippings? Like, I know that the Chargers were ranked the worst rushing team, but I also know they have Austin Eckler, who's one of the best running backs in the league. Don't follow stats after 4 games. They're very misleading. These defensive tackles are completely garbage. Like, I was like, yeah, maybe we don't need Sue. We might need Sue. That we need some attitude on this defense because, like I said, they're as soft as Huggies diapers. Like, come on.
The only attitude they're giving is to referees and then getting penalties, whether they're justified or not. They're concerned more about the calls they're not getting. And I'm looking at images and replays through social media or wherever it may be of players on the Browns defense, like looking disgusted and like what?
Guess what? Both teams don't get calls, dude. Like, I don't care about your damn ref problems, dude.
Or it's because they're looking at each other because there's a miscommunication. Miscommunications are over.
Yeah,
it is week 5. That might be something that starts the year. That should be easily correctable. That's coaching. Players are not executing. Miles talked after the game that there were a couple times, and I put a couple for those listening on the Google, Spotify, or Apple, or any other podcast platform version of the show, the audio version that audio puts together. Weird sentence to put together there. But if you're listening to that, I put couple times in quotes because that's what he was saying. There were many times where they got out of alignment and Los Angeles took advantage of it. Again, you let the worst team in the NFL, if not one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in rushing, outrush you or gain.
You jump-started their rushing attack is what you did.
You gave him 238 yards. And the other thing that I absolutely hate about this team, and I have hated for the last few years, you don't get off the field on 3rd down. You don't let your offense get back on the field by stopping the other team, especially in crucial moments. When your offense is down by 6 points and they go down and they score and they take the lead, your offense is now in a rhythm. They've gotten the momentum back. What do? You just let the lanes open up again. You part the Red Sea for the Chargers and you let them score and take the lead. So all of that momentum, any of that energy that's starting to shift to your sideline goes away. And Cade, I love you, buddy. Like, that was, you talking about soccer, that only goes so far. If you're going to miss kicks, you're a 4th-round pick. Guess what? I understand rookie, whatever, but you got to take together. You got to take blame on you. And I'm sure he does. Like, he's one of those people who will actually be accountable and actually work on it.
And for people, there's a stat. I think Phil Dawson only hit 68% of his field goals his rookie season. Like, it's a very hard place to learn to kick.
It is.
So I'm going to be extremely on him the whole season, his rookie season. I will. I just want him to get better. You got to make those, though. You got to make those.
But again, here's the difference between us and probably other shows. Like they're gonna find that one person to go at, and I'm sure it'll be Cade. That's the nasty side of Cleveland fandom, or all the other types of shows like what we are doing, like fan podcasts or shows. Like we're trying to be different. We're trying to make sure that the majority like us that see things for what they really are, help you to keep seeing that, because you have,
when everyone zigged and zagged, and when everyone zigged, they wanted to be the hot button, the hot points, hot takes,
and
rile you guys up, say things to get Browns fans riled up. We're going to go back to the old school way, and when no one else is doing it that way, that's how we're going to do it.
And you know what's disgusting is there's probably people out there that are sending on social media like terrible messages to Cade
dude. Abby Mueller, I want to say on Twitter, said it perfectly. Let's not at players after the game. Let's, come on.
Make sure you at all the players that held in it. Now, again, I
just don't add any of the players, dude. Like, you want to vent, go ahead and vent, but you don't have to sit there and be like, this dude's trash, and have pile on him with a million fans going at someone. Like, dude, that ain't helping any.
I mean, I'm gonna vent and at somebody right now. Like, I just glad that he is okay and that his passenger was okay. But Myles Garrett, if you really want to be one of the best defensive players in the league, like no matter what you go through, you got to come through and make a play. Like we can say that, oh my gosh, he's coming around the edge and he got pressure. And it's not just about getting sacks, but when those plays need to be made defensively, you expect Aaron Donald to go make them, TJ Watt to go make them. Who doesn't make them enough? Miles doesn't make them enough. And I'm sure if there was enough people watching, I'm sure I have a lot of people coming at me like, how could you go at Miles? He's coming back from a car accident and everything. If we're going to separate what the quarterback that everybody wants to see on the field was accused of and his football ability, I'm going to separate unfortunate real life events that miraculously and pray graciously that he survived, his passenger survived. If you feel like you are good enough to play in the game, if we're going to look at it from a pure football standpoint, you got to go make a play.
Like,
I know it's probably the wrong time to do it, but that part is frustrating. And no matter what happens outside of football,
if you're going to come back, come back, you're ready to go. I expect Myles Garrett out there. I don't
that's what I'm saying.
More than, if you're not good out there, I expect you to play and be good out there. They have a backup tackle in there, and that guy didn't. I don't think he got a sack today. Like, I thought he was going to be eating today, and he was not eating. And then it just felt like they were like inviting him in and then just throwing the screen or a pass right in the flat, and they were just running it for 20 yards left and right on third down. I don't know how many times I've seen a third down pass into the flat go for 20, 15 yards. I'm like, is anyone like, I knew it was coming. That's why I said, is it Joe Woods is that the scheme? Or I don't know what the plays call is. So, because frankly, no one, unless you're the coach, you don't know what the play call is right now. Is it?
And it's going to be some weird thing.
Is it someone in the secondary blowing coverage that should be out there? Is it a linebacker or something that should have been there? I don't know. I'm not going to get on here and talk about like I know everything. We've already discussed this. I'm not going to get more into that. But come on, Miles. I need more from you, bro.
Yeah. It goes back to every conversation that we had last year. If you are going to be out there on the field, we expect you to execute.
And you don't have the excuse that Jadeveon Clowney wasn't on the opposite side.
He was on the opposite
out
side
there today,
and he was able to play and didn't do much either. Like he shares in it. Jadeveon Clowney, you were a number one pick, and yes, you've gone through injuries and kind of traveled teams, but it seemed like you guys had that connection. It seemed like this defense had that connection. This was the group that was coming back basically intact. Everything was ready to go. And they look like they have never played together ever. They're
way out of sync.
And it's week 5. Like, I get it, still early. And I get put early in quotes. It's not good enough. The last person before we go to break that I gotta bring up for blame game, and it's probably the one that frustrates me the most, and it's getting to Hugh Jackson, Freddie Kitchens level and saying the same thing in a press conference. well, I got to be better. I got to be better for our guys. We got to be better. We got to learn from
Become a
this.
catchphrase.
You're just saying it, but it doesn't happen. You got to like hold yourself accountable and actually show it. That's why we talk about all the time.
I'm sorry. Going for it when he went for it on 4th down in their territory, that's a boneheaded move, dude. Oh my God, was I mad about that one? Like, oh, you got balls, as they would say. Like, dude, no. No good coach is going for it on 4th down in enemy territory when they have an explosive offense like that. You're giving up points, dude.
And both coaches did that. And like, okay, they take a timeout. Like, if you're going to go for it, do what you've done every single time. And that's Jacoby Brissett sneaking the ball. Cause it wasn't just a yard, it was inches. Like, okay, you take a timeout. You're going to try to, stack the box. You're going to try to stop the sneak. Guess what? I'm going to show you how much balls I got, and I'm going to call the play that I've always done that has worked this season. Jacoby Brissett, go ahead and sneak the ball because you're a big dude. You reach the ball across, they'll give you forward progress, and now you move on. Now you go back to some, whatever stretch play or whatever it was.
It was a run to Kareem Hunt.
And,
as soon as you go backwards, you're losing 2 yards a second. You hand the ball off. He has to gain that back. And you want to talk about they do analytics. I'm pretty sure they say it's 95% of the time Jacoby Brissett gets a first down on those 4th and inches or 4th and 1s. That's great. You probably should have called that one. So there's a whole nother problem with that play calling. But I don't care. When you are on the opposite side of the 50, just punt the ball. But obviously, your defense ain't that good. He don't trust his defense.
He's trying to keep the best unit out there, and the best unit is the offense. But when money time comes, I was told that no matter who was going to be in there, suspension, no suspension, the guys that they brought in as backups was a better option than what we had last year. And we are seeing the same thing we talked about last year. In winning time, you are not winning. You are throwing interceptions. And then your kicker is not making those kicks. Your defense really isn't stopping anybody. Luckily, your offense is high-powered enough earlier in the game to keep it close.
Not even that it's not even contested. It's not like, oh my God, the defensive player made some crazy play on a good throw. No, that was just a terrible throw.
Yeah,
there was no Browns around. It threw it right to the guy. And if you watch replay, if he misses him go high, it goes to another. I'm like, who's he throwing to?
And he reaches back for it, and Amari's coming across the field. The ball is going away from him. It's tailing away. It's probably going into another Chargers.
Sorry, Paul. The Brissett train just trashed itself and crashed right off the tracks.
I mean, it can play the Brissett Express can be as great as it wants to be, and as much of a locomotive down the tracks as it wants to be for the first three and a half quarters, even maybe only the first half. But in winning time, again, I know it's a backup, and everybody will make the excuse. This is why he's a career backup in the NFL. Well,
he's my starter right now.
They brought him in knowing that a suspension was coming, no matter whether they knew how long it was going to be or not. They thought this guy could get it through. And if it was only going to be 6 games, guess what? You're 5 games into that 6 games, and you are below 500. And he has not gotten you through to this point. Next week is a must win. You got to get back to 500. And you're at home. It's against the Patriots. You never know what's going to happen there. Bill Belichick coming back in and, one of the masterminds, but they haven't had a great season. They've had a lot of injuries. That's a must win.
They're getting lucky with their division right now. They're getting super lucky because the Bengals play the Ravens tonight. So one of them are just going to beat each other. I don't know which way we even want that to win. I think you want the Bengals to win, but they're coming on too. So you better get it together because these teams the Ravens are scary good. Don't look at that record. They're very, very good. And the Bengals are no joke either. The Steelers, well, they suck, so we don't really have to worry about them.
Yeah, so much for the Kenny Pickett
Kenny Carneyhands can't do anything.
Yeah. All right. Is everybody good? Everybody feel?
Well, I was going to throw this out just to throw it out. What was it? Was it 2018, 2019? We started with the tie.
Yeah, 2018. It was
2018, so
Baker's rookie year.
That was Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So
Gotta watch the film.
through five games, we had a better record with Hugh. We were 2-2-1.
Oh God, why'd you do this to me? Oh no!
Just
All right.
Blake stare at the camera. I'm like,
All right, break time.
I
All
ain't
right.
getting into that.
All right. Make sure you guys get some Voice of the Land gear. We'll tell you how in this break. This is the Voice of the Land, your Browns post-game show, switching to Feel Better. We're going to talk Guardos, baby. Guardos.
Guardos all the time. Guardos all the time.
We'll talk that next, right here on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
Make sure you head on over voiceoftheland.com/shop to get your gear while Paulus's face may still be up there. Trust me, there are shirts and you can't see him. I really want to turn this camera right now, but our producer extraordinaire Audio is wearing one of the new shirts.
Dude, I don't know if you should ever turn that camera because I don't know what will happen. Dude.
I don't
if
know.
the camera actually sees our AI system, is it just going to be some
we may
kind
not have a show anymore.
Yeah, we might
be one of those like video feedbacks where
might blast us into the quantum realm or something. I don't know.
It'll be that moment where Jarvis is fed into what Ultron was trying to make, and it turns into Vision, and he's like starts to fight everybody, and then goes and stares at himself in the window, like, man, that could have gone like either way.
Well, Jay saw what happened when he shared the picture from the Cavs game when we were there with Suryat. So
yeah,
I mean, you see what happens when you try and share a picture with me.
So I won't do it. Let's not do it.
Let's not. Let's focus on the team that actually matters right now.
Because it's time to talk some baseball.
Talking baseball. We are talking Guardos, baby. Boy.
And that song has been in my head since its debut.
Well, and we got to give context to that by saying like Guardos all the time and everything. So, yes, I do work at ESPN Cleveland, and I think that like everybody there knows I do the show, and then kind of vice versa. Like I'm not going to. We don't.
Kevin works there, and I'm like the biggest fan. So
yeah, so
we're going to talk ESPN Cleveland. I mean, if you don't like them, that's your problem. If you like them, cool.
If we reference that station over, the competitor,
that's why.
That's why. Because I mean, I'm just at work all the time, so like I don't really get a chance if I get in my car once I'm done with work, just like after a Browns game, to feel better and listen to music. I'm not listening to sports talk because I've been around it all day long. Like I don't need more. So, of course, ESPN Cleveland, 3 to 5 every weekday. Emmett Golden, Gerard Cherry, Jordan Klimek, they have a show called The Next Level. And for a while now on that show, they have been singing Guardos all the time to the tune of Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time. You guys know this. I'm not singing the rest of it.
No,
you guys know the song. I actually only know that song I originally caught on to that song from a Mad TV skit when Mad TV was trying to be like the anti SNL or whatever. But it was a funny sketch, and I just recently saw it. They had somebody playing Rick James.
What's the on Top Shot?
Yeah. So, they've been singing that to basically just Guardos all the time. They've been singing that to that chorus. Well, someone dogtunes.com rewrote the song to be Guardos all the time. And if you search them,
they did a great job. Dude.
They really did. And it is like a playoff anthem. Like
I told you guys, it's been a ridiculous amount of times it's been played in my car in my headphones.
So
for a parody song.
Go on to YouTube, check it out. Like, if you are really getting into this playoff run, even if you're just jumping on to what the Guardians have done all year, we've been here the whole time. We're not going to put ourselves on a pedestal. Like, we're welcoming everybody.
Show this hat will be on for this playoff run.
Everybody jump on, because again, a team that plays the sport they are playing the right way, and young guys are just enjoying being around each other and playing the game like they are having a great time. So yeah, so check out that song. They did the Guardos all the time. So if you hear us say it, that's why we are referencing that. Speaking of Guardos all the time, you got a chance to go to game 1 of the wild card series and got a seat upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, mentioning singing. I had to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game for your station before the game. And I feel like brought a little of the good luck to there. But I got to give it to the best luck I brought were the socks I got from Kevin's wedding, which are the baseball socks.
Guess who didn't wear the socks to the game I went
It's
to?
all right. The socks from the day before had juice left over.
Yeah.
So I definitely was rocking those. And
apparently it took 15 innings to find it, but that's fine.
It was lost. So
sorry, guys.
Shout out to Raconia, who's been on our show, friend of the show. He hooked me up with 2 tickets. Well, the 2 tickets were at the very extreme top of the thing. I may or may not have found my way all the way down to like 145 or something. I don't know. I get around these people. I'm like, hey, is anyone sitting in these chairs here or anything? There's a huge row wide open. They're like, no, they're season ticket holders. They're not here today. You guys are way more welcome. We want you down here. Like, just be loud. I'm like, hey, you ain't gonna worry about me being loud. I'll be more than loud. That's why every time I get loud on here, you can hear my voice breaking.
Well, I don't think you guys did anything wrong though. Like, you and your nephew?
My nephew, yeah.
I don't think you guys did anything wrong, because what did he do? He went on one of the apps to see like what seats were open or what was being sold, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're already in the ballpark, and if something's being sold, like, then it's open.
We waited till like the 6th inning, because I was like, I don't, if someone buys these seats or coming late from after work, I don't want to be in their seats.
And that game was going quick too. So anybody,
I'm not gonna, I have to be down low, dude. I have to feel like I'm affecting the game as a fan. Like, I want to be close enough where I know if I'm yelling something, they hear me. And dude, I totally turned into a little league player. And I am not joking. The whole time these batters, I'm like, hey, bada, 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 bada. And so they pitch, I'm like, swing as loud as I can. And it's funny because sometimes they swing and get hits, and you're like, oh, you're gonna feel like this. But when they swing and strike out, everyone's like, yeah, you got them. It's totally not me. It's the pitching or their awesome pitching, which was phenomenal, by the way. Big Shane Bieber shot out there. But
I mean, pitching his best.
Day one,
at the right time.
We had a hero of the day, and his name is Jose. And that home run, man, that was just phenomenal, man. I was so pumped, and you're just high-fiving everybody, going all crazy.
Well,
then the Jose chant. The best part is after his home run.
Mm-hmm.
So then they replay it, and during the replay, I was like mad. I'm like, dude, are they trying to steal my momentum? I'm like, come on, you're trying to make another rain delay to stop us, right?
Trying to see if Ahmed had touched or like retouched second when he made a move, maybe back to first or something, whatever.
But
Kevin Cash can't review anything.
It was a bad idea for that dude, because all you did is poke the bear of that fan base, because they're just getting louder and just Jose, 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 Jose. Jose, Jose. So the whole replay is the Jose chant.
Yeah.
He comes out, gives his hat off to the crowd and everything. So it gets him even more pumped up. And it was just awesome. Like, that was amazing. Glad I got to go with my nephew too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you get a chance to do that, that's always special. What was so great about that home run was, Shane had given up the solo home run to the 9-hole hitter. Hey, Siri.
Yeah, I know. I felt like that was my fault, dude. I was like, hey, Siri, can we get a strikeout? Oh, sorry, Siri.
All right, hang on. We can't keep doing this, because now my watch and my phone are going off. I forgot I'm bringing the Apple products over here. So, but yeah, so the 9-hole hitter hits a home run at the top of the inning, and you come back in the bottom of the inning. The player that your marquee player who just signed, yes, a team-friendly, city-friendly deal, but wants to stay here, wants to play here, loves playing on this team, loves helping these young guys, being the veteran, even though he's still kind of a young guy in this game, and he hits the 2-run bomb to take, to give you the lead, and your pitching takes you the rest of the way. Like, this team just relentlessly answers when called upon. Unlike another team, when the time matters most, or when things feel the most dire, or like all hope is lost, it's like this team just takes things to a whole nother stratosphere that,
you remember the
for
90s?
a young team, it just doesn't make any sense, but it's so fun to see because they have that mindset of Major League Baseball players when, most of the guys that have come up have played minor league baseball at some point this season. What's amazing is, like you just said, they're so young. And we remember the 97 team. That team just kept coming back and winning, coming back and winning, coming back. They have more comeback wins than that team does. Yeah. And that team was filled with veterans that have power bats littered all up and down the lineup. This team is just hitting perfectly. They're just playing perfectly. I love them.
The thing with this team, though, is you never feel like
they're out.
Hope is gone.
Yeah.
Until the third strike in the bottom of the ninth.
And then you know what the other best, but the counterpart is, if we got the lead and it's the 9th inning and Class A comes out, it's like, ball game. We only got to win 8 innings. I can't remember if it's Dino DiNatale, Dave DiNatale, or Nick Camino, one of the two. Every time Class A comes in, he's coming in for a save, like tweets out, Class A is in session. That's a good one. I gotta get. That is a good one. I can't remember, so I'm not giving credit the proper way. But one of those two, I know I see that all the time. Class A is in session. That gets me hyped every single time.
The only thing that my poor soul goes back to is Jose Mesa, because he was a great closer too.
I know.
So
but
Class A, seriously, this pitching staff, it's just unbelievable.
Well, you want to talk about pitching staff?
Talk about yesterday.
We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. You are tuned in to what is a Browns post-game show on the Big Play Network, but this is Guardians baseball time to talk, and the team to focus on the most. We'll finish by talking about yesterday's 15-inning game and those stupid Yankees. We start that series on Tuesday. We will look ahead to that. Blank the Yankees. We'll be right back on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome to your Guardian celebration show, continuing on a Sunday after winning on a Saturday to move on to the ALDS in the 2022 MLB playoffs to face off against the quote-unquote vaunted Yankees coming up starting on Tuesday night. And Jay was just talking about his time with his nephew at game 1 and the energy, the atmosphere. Guardians get the win in that one, 2-1. Shane Bieber, an absolutely masterclass 7 2/3 innings. Class A comes in for the final 4 outs of the game, gets the win. And then,
in true fashion, via our show represented the whole weekend of playoffs.
Yes, they did.
And I guess Kevin was there Saturday.
Yes, I was there for all 15 innings. And if you don't believe me, I don't care.
No, I'll tell you right now, the phone call, I called him after the game. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, tired. He's like, I'm exhausted. He was there the whole time. And
barely had a voice. Like, yeah. I was dead to rights because right after the game, I also went and saw Grandpa, who was 96 years old, coming up on actually Thursday. So look ahead. Happy birthday, 96 years old, to my grandfather, who is the one that taught me the game of baseball. One of the
96. Wow, man.
Yep. And
could you imagine being around for 96 years, like what he has seen?
And you guys know, like, and I talked to you guys about this. I didn't really talk about it much on the show, but 90 plus years old, like, you're going to go through some health problems. And he was he was struggling there for a little bit, and especially, kind of going through the wedding. I wasn't able to come to anything for the wedding, and knew that he would love it for how we did the baseball theme and everything. But him and my Aunt Mary are the ones that took us to games. They only had like a 20-25 game season ticket pack, but again, I remember the section, the row, the seats, section 109 seats, row S, seats 12 and 13, right behind where the Office Max sign used to be.
Tell me it meant a lot to you, by the way. You just labeled that right off the top of your head. Wow.
Yes, it meant a lot, because those few Sunday games, my sister would get to go to one, and then I would get to go to one. That's why baseball means so much. I didn't get a chance to play it, but I love the sport, and I want to.
Oh, you got to play it?
I did. I mean, I guess, yeah, a little bit.
Maybe I should have kept you off the team. You came on the team. I tore my Achilles. Oh, it's another subject.
Oh, all right. Well, back to the fun side of things.
Yes.
With the Guardians.
So how was your experience Saturday?
So it was great. So I had to go see Grandpa afterwards, but taking it all the way back to the actual game and the start of the game, I'm like, okay, we got McKenzie on the hill. I know we're going up against one of their aces who's just coming back from injury. He's not gonna be able to stay in the game very long. Maybe if we can kind of do what we do, get back to small ball. It seemed like we had those long swings trying to be a home run hitting team when we're really not. We're a single, we're a double hitting team. We get a bunch of guys on base, we bring them home, thinking maybe make them work a little bit, get them out of the game even sooner, get to that bullpen sooner. These guys start just, they take up from where both pitching staffs were the day before. They're just throwing strikes. We're just kind of blowing through innings a little bit longer, a little bit, the Rays especially. I want to know, I should have looked this up, but if there was a stat on the amount of foul balls with a 2-strike count by Rays hitters yesterday, because it felt like every single time they were making our pitchers work. We would get to an 0-2 count, and somehow, and I looked at the guy that was sitting next to me in the seats we were in, and I was like, man, we were just following a script. Look, we're 0-2. I bet it's a ball in the dirt, 1 and 2. Oh my gosh, that just happened. And I was like saying this for like every hitter, and I finally said, for one, I was like, change the script, and we got the strikeout, 3-strike pitches. And like everybody was into it the whole time, and with 1 out and 2 strikes. Usually you get up at 2 outs, 2 strikes. To close out each inning. We're getting up at 1 out, 2 strikes, and we're doing like the squats and stand up, sit down, scream a bunch of things, yell at the umpires, yell at the Rays players, then sit down, then stand up, then sit down, then stand up, then sit down. And it was just that way the whole time. I mean, kudos to the Rays pitching staff, the Guardians pitching staff. That was, if you want an extended game film of what it means to pitch when you got guys on base, pitch when there's nobody on base, and continue to put zeros on the board for your team to come out and try to get that offense going. Watch the pitching in that game yesterday. It may take a little while to get through it, but it was like nervous energy the whole time.
Oh, that's the beauty of a game like that. Like everyone was like, oh, I want to see a whole bunch of runs. The true best baseball game to watch, without a doubt, is a baseball pitching duel from both teams. Because every single pitch counts, and it's who's going to make that first mistake. It takes one bad pitch to you win or lose.
Now, if I were to take a brief look ahead, we'll do that with like the last 5 minutes or so, but a brief look ahead at the Yankees series. What I didn't like from our offense was the continuation of trying to be a home run hitting team. A lot of long swings, trying to put the run on the board. Every person trying to do it themselves instead of allowing the group to kind of do it as a team and keep a rally going. Especially what was the 6th inning, bases loaded, no out.
Oh my God,
the one thing that frustrates me still with Cleveland baseball, no matter what name they go by, what name is across the front, what nickname I guess is across the front of the jersey, bases loaded. I look at Jana, my wife, all the time, and I'd be like, hey, it's the Guardians' favorite scenario to hit in. Bases loaded, no out, or bases loaded, 1 out, bases loaded, 2 out. I never see us get the big hit. Now, this team has gotten big hit after big hit throughout the year, so I'm not going to like rag on them or anything like that. It's just that was to not even get 1 run there. You're thinking, boy, are things, not because this team has shown it, but just those kind of weird aura situations where you don't get the job done, you feel like something switches over across the way.
It's a momentum shift right there, big time.
And the pitching staff continue to put zeros on the board, 0 after 0 after 0. And then Corey Kluber comes in. Everybody gave him a great sign, great ovation coming in because everybody still respects what he did here and a great career, an ace for this staff for a long time. And, thinking, okay, well, they're putting in a guy
He
that
just
they
never stops pitching great for us.
Well, he waited a couple innings to do that, but you're thinking this is a guy that can start in this league, and they're bringing him in at this point, so they're expecting this one to go a while, and we're like, we're all the fans are, they're trying to go up to the concourse to get some more adult beverages and food. Nothing's being given out for like 3 hours. And then
they closed off the food early.
Well, the alcohol stops. What?
Yeah, I know
the alcohol stops, and they definitely kept the food to just you had to go up to get the food. You could not. They were not bringing food unless it was peanuts or Cracker Jacks.
They didn't
coming through the concessions.
Okay.
Yeah, it was drinks and peanuts, Cracker Jacks. There was no like actual food like hot dogs and stuff. And I'm one of those crazy people that, especially first ever playoff experience, but in a big game, if I get a chance to be in a big moment, go see my team in a big moment, I'm going to be there for every single moment.
Oh, so you got to see the home run.
I got to see the home run.
Oh, that's convenient because I was installing a door at my house, a new back door, and thank God I have Hulu and I can stream. So I just my TV's on rollers, like kind of like we have over here. And I pulled it out, pushed it right into my kitchen. So I'm like walking on my door with my uncle, looking behind me, watch the game, working on my door. And we opened the new storm door. And then we needed a left-handed opening door. We got a right-handed opening door. It's like, oh, we got to run to the store. I'm like, so it's 15th inning. We get our 3 outs real quick. We come up the bat, and I'm like on the freeway. Sure enough, that's when Oscar Gonzalez hits that home run. I'm like, oh man, I didn't get to see it. It was so bad, but it was because you listen to Tom Hamilton's great.
Oh yeah,
but it was cool.
Best.
All these cars are around us, and you see all guys bumping their fans, going nuts and stuff, and we're pointing like, yeah, that's awesome. It was like I saw a winning game on the freeway with everyone. It was kind of weird.
In a big game like that, it's always fun after the game when on social media they have the video from whatever television network was showing the game. But then they dub over Tom Hamilton's call of it because like that's the call you want to hear, but you also want to see that happen. So while
I love when they do that.
Yeah, and everybody was asking for it to me. Like I went on Twitter after the game and like, where's the Hammy call? Where's the Tom Hamilton call? Where is it? Where is it? And it was like 5 minutes, but like everybody was asking for it within seconds after the game. And so like while you're driving on the highway. I've been here for this whole game. The friend of a friend that asked me to go because he knew I was a big baseball fan. We've been to games together before. He had seats up top. I somehow find my way down to the bottom as well, but from the start of the game, not just in the 6th inning when it would be more viable, but perks of working and people knowing I'm a big baseball fan. So take advantage when you can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always nice to have nice things come to you. So he had to leave because him and his family had an event and it was like at 5 o'clock. Like he could not stay. So I stayed to represent us. And then, I'm just kind of like sitting down, trying to relax in between the top of the 15th and the bottom. And Oscar Gonzalez comes up. And there were the last couple of times he had come up, I kind of like stopped singing the SpongeBob songs. I'm like, all right, like, you haven't done anything yet. Like, something's got to change here. So that inning, I decided, you know what? Gonna get myself back going again, singing the SpongeBob song. That pitch comes in, you hear the crack of the bat, and we all knew. He knew. He looked at the Rays, take every bat flip, take the shooter bro that that he does coming around second into third base, all of that, the mobbing at home plate to be there. I mean, those are the type of moments that you absolutely live for. As much as it is exhausting to go through this kind of innings, when it ends like that and a young guy comes through and the team is having all the fun in the world, they don't care that someone else did it. They didn't. They're just celebrating each other, celebrating moving on.
walking
And-
shirtless on the field with a cigar in afterwards.
Oh,
Austin
yes,
Hedges.
Hedges.
Austin Hedges is a vibe, as they said. I'm like,
he
yeah.
is, and to have him behind the plate is great. We know, like, offensively
I
where
don't
our
care.
catchers
Dude,
stand.
you
Like,
can hit zero for all I care anymore.
the-
Just call a great game pitching, be a great defensive catcher.
the dude is a walking quote too.
And just continue to do post game interviews, please.
And I don't even care that they say after the game, and Hedges was the leader of it, that we want to take a bite out of the Big Apple. Like, we're not scared.
I wanted them. I am not scared of this team
Right.
whatsoever. I truly believe that we are more than capable of beating them.
If they play baseball the way that we know we're going to go up against really good pitchers.
Yeah, we
and
got to play
the scores are going to
Garrett
be
Cole game one.
the
Hell
scores.
of a pitcher, but he ain't unhittable.
The scores are going to be close. It's going to be low scoring. We know all that. This team has been in those situations before. And going back to April, remember when we talked about I think we were one of the first people on it. Like, the time that this team came together, when Miles Straw climbed that wall, they didn't necessarily play well in the next couple of games, but you saw like a different chemistry from that point on with this team. Miles Straw
A true
climbs the wall.
brotherhood bond was formed there, I believe.
Yeah, they're yelling obscenities and stuff at the team, at people out there in the outfield, and he wasn't having any of it, and they're calling him classless. And New York fans are classless.
Oh, I can't stand him. You are the worst, New York.
They do have a great lineup, though. So, not to make predictions or anything, but come Tuesday night, are we going to see a young team with deer in the headlights, or are they just going to? Are we going to see, no matter how the series ends, what are you looking forward to most taking on the Yankees, Jay?
I think I'm going to see a young, hungry team that feels disrespected, and they're going to come out and put their mark on this world.
Peter?
I agree. I think they're going to come out. They're not going to be deer in the headlights. They have Tito.
Yes.
They're a team that plays well together. They're young, but they are hungry. And I think that they're going to take everything that's given to them and more.
The Tito effect can't be stressed enough. That guy is phenomenal.
And that's I think that's the biggest point that we talked about at the start of this year. Like, if there was, no matter what we predicted for this team, and you and I, Jay, were wrong. Peter was was higher on this team.
I mean, we're not going to compete with an AI system,
I
Kevin.
understand. The analytics are like nothing to him. It
It's just like, hold on, computing.
5 seconds.
They will win 93 games this year.
Yeah, but
Off by one.
In all seriousness, though, like, we admit that we were wrong, like our expectations, but we're not the only ones that were like that. There's a lot of people saying that this team has far exceeded expectations, and they continue to follow Terry Francona. And that was the main piece that we said, if this team has success, as young as they are going, it is going to be because of the best manager in all of baseball, and that is Terry Francona. And that's why they won yesterday, and that's why they won't be scared.
That's why I won a scooter.
Yeah, that's
well, I think
why
I'm going to say not only Tito, but also the front office and, and our farm system.
Yeah.
Because how many was it? 16, 17
16,
players?
In the pitching printer that they have.
Oh, my God.
That 3D printer that they just like, and then they've got a new Cy Young winner comes out.
I think you're right.
Well, and you guys know exactly like what I've been asking for a long time, because it didn't seem like the organization could develop them. Quality above average, doesn't need to be an all-star, but above average Major League Baseball outfielders. Guess what?
3 of them.
We got 3 of them.
And hats off to Miles Straw, man. He's really come on at the end of the season. He's had a hard season, but his defense and that late in that game, he had it looks like a routine catch, but he comes charging in and catches up third out. And I'm like, wow, dude, he had such a great jump. And just being a baseball player my whole life, like, I know how hard that was, because it wasn't like a
when they
popcorn. It was a line shot that he caught, and that was a hell of a catch at the end.
Well, and since we're going over as always, I'm also gonna say Jose, because I think the fact that Jose, well, I mean, we know he's a great player, but the fact that he took that team friendly deal and he said, yeah, I want to be here, I want to play here. I think that did so much to cement this team. Yeah, because you've got a guy that could go pretty much anywhere and make way more money, and the fact that he wants to be here, I think these young guys see that and they're like, you know what, that's special. And I honestly hope we see more of that throughout not just baseball, but all pro sports,
Yeah.
because there's something as a fan, yes, you root for the name on, on the front of the jersey, but man, you really develop like a fandom of some of these players. And you want them to succeed, but you want them to succeed here.
Yeah.
And when they embrace your town, your city like that, there's nothing better than it.
He just wants to go play baseball. He wants to play baseball here. And that, I think that moment where we haven't seen that very often here, a guy saying, I want to play here, and actually not just saying it, but then signing on the dotted line. I think that did way more than, us changing the name because of pressure to change the name. Like, that was a starting point. Having Terry here, having so much consistency in this front office and throughout the organization, and having the same message across the organization has definitely helped. And young guys just buying in and just, again, playing a kid's game, love playing for the city, playing together as brothers. I know that there's going to be a lot of people saying, a lot of people in Cleveland, and rightfully so, saying, the Guardians have a chance in this series because everyone's going to count them out. And when people count them out, they tend to play their best baseball. At some point, that type of element, especially when you're in the playoffs and you're facing other really good teams, like that element, can't just be the only thing that carries you. But I think starting with that mentality and now knowing what it takes to play at this level and sticking to how they play the game of baseball, not trying to play like other teams do, finding ways to win no matter the circumstances at the end, that is what is going to give them a chance against the Yankees. Am I predicting they're winning it? Am I predicting they're not? That is not what I do on this show.
What I'm going to predict? That they're going to play hard no matter what.
I forgot to remind you of something.
Oh, yes. No, I remember because you said something. The fans. We're going to have playoff games here again. I don't want to see no jackwagon fan wearing a hockey helmet with an F the Dolan shirt on and a giant sign saying that if the Indians are racist, so are the Browns, and walking around literally, dude, I swear to God, this dude was scaring families. Like, please, let's stop with the crap. They changed the name. Get over it. Yeah. Grow up. Oh God, was I mad about that, dude? Like, we're at this event and they're literally like, people are like, dude, who is this dude? Like, why is he wearing a hockey goalie helmet, walk around with all this crap in his hand? Like, is he gonna shoot us? Like, today, like, these ain't the ages to be doing stuff like that, because you're literally inciting fear into your so-called fellow fans. You're not a fan. You're not one of us. Stay out of my city with that crap.
Yeah. Does being on the train and still following and being a loyal fan and a big fan of the baseball team here mean that I am, all about the name change still? No. Like, do I want the old name? Sure. If there are people that still don't want to root for this team and don't want to have fun because of the name change, that's fine. To each their own. But don't take it to that kind of level. Don't take it.
It's disgusting behavior, dude.
And too often we have seen things taken to the extreme. Sports are an escape. They don't need to be wrapped into all that.
Today, I went around and I saw a lot of San Diego Chargers fans, and I purposely stopped and I talked to them. How was your time in Cleveland? Oh, here's places to go. Enjoy your time. Have fun. I don't give them crap because I want them to go, and when they leave, they go, there's just one fan, and a lot of these fans are really nice. I want people to think our city's nice. I want you're not just representing yourself over some name change that you're all upset about. You're representing all of us, and you're giving us a bad name, and I won't stand for it.
And guess what? There's plenty of people that won't root for this team and they have not made a big scene about it because of the name change. There are plenty of people that are rooting for this team no matter what name that they make, because they want to have fun. They love their teams
this
here.
Is about extremeness, people, dude. Like,
yes,
this is the difference. If you're upset, I understand.
The problem with people like that is where, especially now with the Guardians being on national television, the Cavs will get some national television games. NFL is always considered national television because, there's only so many games and so many games throughout the year. But those cameras or whoever comes into town, they're going to catch that one extremist. So now the city looks bad because of those few people. We know we are a great city. Let's represent right. Let's hope that we get more than just one game. We're only guaranteed one home game in this series right now. Let's hope we get more. But on Saturday night, when this team comes back from New York, whatever they do out there, let's hope they get at least one of those games and then come back here and again, show up, show out. It's going to be a night game, or at least it's going to be on the weekend. Plenty of people will be off, plenty of time for people to get there. If you have the money and the tickets aren't too expensive for you, get out, support the team. If you're watching at a bar in the city, make them feel you, make the Guardians feel that energy. Continue to let them feel the energy they've given us all year. Continue to give back, and let's go Guards.
Let's go.
And that'll wrap it up, though, for this edition of the Voice of the Land. I'm glad we went over today because I need a little bit
Yeah,
extra
we need
time.
a little extra time.
We went too far with the Browns today, but they're not letting them ruin our Sundays anymore. The Guardians are still in the playoffs. Cavs are about to start their season. Let's go Cleveland. Let's go Cavs. Let's go Guards. And still, let's go Browns. Let's go Ohio State. Everybody, for Always Positive, Jay, for audio, wherever that AI system may be. I'm Kevin Arnold reminding all of you, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We love you all, 3,000. And as our old friend Mike Allen used to say, all gas, no brakes, plus Jay.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
That's a message the Browns should take. Until next time, right here, your Browns post-game show and big Guardians fans, this is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network. We'll see you next Sunday night.